keeping the First Amendment alive. We are WEBR, Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
Peace, peace. This is djOHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. We're playing live beats today. I got my man VE over here. What's this one called, man? This is my favorite beat right here, VE.
Today I Am, man.
Today I Am. That's what I'm talking about, man. Today we got a special guest in the house, man. We got Kareem. Can I say your last name?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Kareem Omary. Get on that mic. You got to stay close to that mic,
What's
man.
up, everybody?
One thing I forgot to tell you is you got to stay right. You got to make love to the mic in the station. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't hear you back there. So you got to be up close. You were in a documentary called The Muslims Are Coming.
Yes.
Which you got to pull that mic towards you, man.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. And a lot of people are scared of that documentary. And that documentary was actually like a social test, right? Because you guys went to Arkansas, you guys went to the Midwest, and you guys went to all these towns where there's really no Muslims, and you guys put on a show, and you were actually informing people about Islam as well, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that, man.
Oh, well, I actually didn't put it together, man. They just asked me to be part of it and to be part of the second sort of leg, which was more in the Midwest. But I guess basically what the whole point of it was to exactly what you said, to get out there and sort of, even more so than just try to educate through the jokes. I think it's just to show people that you're just a regular dude just like them. And so I didn't change my material at all. I really, kept it the same.
Porno boy.
Whatever. I mean, it's who I am.
Tell us about Porno Boy, man. For those, I've seen the documentary like twice now. I watched it a few times. So I know that part. And you told me about Porno Boy before that that time.
2 seconds into the show talking about porn.
Porno Boy, man.
Sorry about that, ladies.
Tell us about Porno Boy, man. It's like a great part in the documentary. It's like, to me, it was the highlight. That was the part where I was laughing the most.
Oh,
to tell you
really?
the truth. Yeah,
Thank you, man.
I'm not gonna front.
It's a true story, actually. When I first came to this country, I was like, 9, 10 years old, and I didn't really know anything about sex. My mother was Catholic, my father's Muslim, and I just didn't know anything about sex. And I feel like I wanted to highlight just how fast America is as far as sexual education. At least for me it was, and I remember just learning about sex literally on the way to school. There was ripped up pieces of magazines all over the floor, and that walk to school, that particular walk, taught me about it. And the subsequent finding of a big box of material and dragging it home, and then...
And this is a true story.
It's a true story. I saw one of my friends was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "I don't know," and he was like, "Well, I'll buy it off you." And then that's when the bizarre mentality went off in my head, and I was like, I could make money. So I went out and I started, it's awful, man, but I started slinging porn magazines.
At what age? At like 12 years old?
Well, no, I came here at 10, and then but this was probably like 7th, 8th grade. So, and I was a year behind.
So you were like
I was like, 12, 13 years old. Yeah,
yeah, man.
And it was weird, man. It was weird. I hadn't even seen my parents kiss, so she just scooted away from me.
You're a true hustler. It's okay.
No, but I felt awful about it. And then the story ends basically where I come home and my mother had found it all, and she bugs out, and she, in pure Latina fashion, just like overdoes it and like scatters the porn everywhere to just make it like a huge scene from a movie, so that she could just play the role of this, mother who's just, and then my dad came in and beat me. And so it was like a little microcosm of my American experience.
With foreign parents.
With foreign parents, both foreign to each other's countries as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was funny because at first I felt like I was playing a translator between both of them, like an insult coordinator, if you will.
Arabic and Spanish.
Being like, that's not what he meant, Mom. What he meant to say wasn't Dad. No, he didn't, so.
That's what's up, man. I'm going to take a quick break. We also have, to your right, Miss CC Vibez. What's going on? You have some health tips for us today.
Yes, success for life.
Not sex tips, man.
It rubbed off. It did.
I'm out, man.
Porno boy.
Don't put us next to each other. Too much heat.
We also have Scene in the cut, man. He's doing a live painting today. Peace. What's going on, fam?
How's everybody doing?
Hey, let us know. Who is that?
This is Jay Electronica.
That's what's up, man. And what inspired you to do this today?
Oh, man, he dropped some new music last week, man, and I've been bumping it really hard. So, the music caught me, so I'm doing a picture.
That's what's up, man. I'm going to move it to the right over here one more time. We got VE playing live beats. What's going on, VE?
What it do, y'all? It's your boy VE, Vietnamese Express, you know what I mean? Representing TON, yo.
To your left, we got First Spawn. You're going to be playing a few beats. Is this your beat right here?
Oh, no, this is VE.
Oh, this is still a VE
Yeah,
beat.
it's
All
still
right,
VE.
cool. Yeah, but you got a few beats coming up too.
Yeah,
maybe next.
We're going to go back and forth.
Back and forth. All right, cool. Behind you, Doc just walked in. So we got Doc, we got Natural E, we got Eric. This is your first time here in the studio. We got eLBetta. Peace. What's going on, Eric?
Nice to meet all you guys.
What's going on, man? eLBetta and Mr. Forge.
Peace.
What's going on, fam?
Peace, y'all.
What's going on, Mr. Forge? Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Song beat with OHLOW. Peace.
Fight Radio Pablum. Listen to WEBR, Fairfax's cable access radio station.
Peace. This is djOHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. That's WEBR Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. Today I got a full house, man. The topic actually today, what I wanted to talk about, man, you know, Northern Virginia is a melting pot. We've talked about this before, but you know, a lot of the kids today, they're mixed. Like Mr. Forge, your kid, First Spawn, this is actually your beat right here. This is an ill beat right here, man. But you know, you're half Mexican.
I'm half Mexican, German, Filipino.
Oh, so you're like a third.
A third, and some other stuff.
And some other stuff.
He's actually half Filipino, a quarter German, and a quarter Mexican.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cause so your mom is half and half.
She's the purebred. Yep.
No, oh, your mom.
I mean, she's sort of like part of her. Like she said that part of our family is like Japanese with like Malaysian,
Polynesian,
and then Filipino, indigenous Filipino.
So what I wanted to get into, the topic today was about, you know, when people come to America, the topic is how women are exploited when they come to America for work. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because that's how my family came to the States. In the 70s, they came from Afghanistan. They came here for jobs. They came here for school. When they got here, they were promised, you know, good jobs and good schooling. They got good schooling, but they didn't get good jobs. And it was primarily because they weren't American. That's it. I mean, it was the 70s. They were Afghan. You know, things didn't make sense. People were, if you think people are prejudiced today, in the 70s, they were 10 times more prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about that because it still happens today in 2014. There was an article about a woman that was actually in school. I think she came from Cameroon. I don't want to say if that it might be wrong, but she came from somewhere in Africa, and she had her schooling. She was actually in school. She finished school in Cameroon, I believe. She saved her money to come over here to get a good job. And when she got to Florida, she found out that she was ripped off. She had nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep. She didn't know anybody. She ended up working for a resort because she had no other job. She had nothing to do. She knew nobody. She ended up working at a resort, and she's a maid now. But she's way overqualified. I believe she was studying to become a nurse. And this happens a lot. My grandfather was a navigator for a big airline. And when he came to America, he ended up being a janitor. And this happens all the time. So this is what I wanted to talk about, man. I know, Doc, I think you have a piece about that too, about women in war zones, right? All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Yeah. We're going to talk about all that. So anyways, the reason I invited Kareem today to this show actually is because, like you said, your parents were actually from two different countries, and they came to the States, right?
Yeah.
And so how you said you were 10 years old when you came to the States?
Yeah, I mean, I had two stints. We came over. See, my parents actually met in New York City in the 70s, early 70s, and had
the original melting pot.
Yes, and had my brother in Manhattan.
Okay.
And then in 1972, they moved back. I guess when he was like 2 or 3 years old, back to Kuwait because my dad had a job there. He's Syrian, but he had a job over in Kuwait, helping direct oil tankers and whatnot. And I was born out in Kuwait. And I lived
you were
there.
born in Kuwait?
Yeah, I was born in Kuwait. I lived in Syria for a little bit.
Are you still a Kuwaiti citizen? You have dual citizenship?
Nah, I mean, Kuwait, the way Kuwait is, I mean, you know how a lot of those Gulf countries are, man. I mean, if you're not like, you know, one of the Bedouin folk, you know, part of like
you don't get
the family, you don't get the taxes,
Yeah.
you don't get any of that. You're still an outsider. I've literally been a foreigner everywhere I've gone in this whole planet. You know what I mean? Like even where I was born, I wasn't, you know, in Syria, I was actually, oh no, he's half Spanish, you know, and
it's like that,
he's Arabic, you know. And then over here, I'm not white or black.
I feel you, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, from Syria, in the news today. Yeah. Afghanistan, in the news today. Mexico, in the news today. Malaysia, you said Malaysia, in the news today. Where's that big 777? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, really, but it kind of does, because the first thing that happened is they were like, oh, terrorists took over the plane and took it down. You know what I'm saying? Stereotypes again. And this is what happens in America, man. Foreigners are always exploited in America, no matter what. And I think, for the most part, there's a lot of people out there that are, that have goodwill in their heart, and they try to say, well, we give everybody equal opportunity. But when it comes down to it, the people who run these businesses, I get it too, because people who run these businesses, first of all, they're not going to hire somebody who can't speak English. When our parents came here, obviously they didn't speak the best English. It was broken English, if at best. You know what I'm saying? But then they're taken advantage of, because they're like, oh, well, this is a person where I can slave to death and pay him minimum wage for the next 5-10 years until they either figure it out or, someone else goes and snatches them up from me. This happens a lot, man. It happens it's crazy, because when I brought this topic up within my family, a lot of the women in my family started saying, well, yeah, when I got here, I did this. I have an aunt that told me that, she's been at the same job since longer than I've been alive, really, 35 years. Since she came to America, she's been at the same job, and she's moved up a little bit. She makes a little bit more money. Obviously, the wages have gone up in D.C. She works in D.C., but it's the same job, and it's really because she's scared to leave, because she feels like, if I leave this job, I'm not going to get another job, because she is still a foreign woman. Like you were saying, she doesn't fit over here. You know what I'm saying? She's been here 35, 36 years. Speaks perfect English. She knows the back streets of DC better than me, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows everything about this area, but she won't get it. She can't get a better job simply because she's foreign, man, because she's from Afghanistan. And so I wanted to, Doc, I need you to come up. Betty, you got something to say?
Yeah, and it is messed up that it's like that in a lot of cases, but in some cases it's not, because, it's all about your hustle and how you grind it out. Like, I got my kids here with me today, and they have Spanish. You know what I mean? And they have Spanish, like I said. Now, my kid's grandmother is from El Salvador. Their grandfather is from Ecuador. Now, their grandmother came here via the Coyote, which, my Latinos know that's about. They had to come underneath the bridge in order to get into the country. Now, she's been here 35, almost 40 years or whatever. Really doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but she runs her own business and has been running her own business for the past 25 years. She started off in catering, and she segued from catering into, not catering, but, working as like a waiter for a catering company. But now she figured out a way to sell tablecloths to the people who need them that run the business. And she promotes that out of her own business as well as running her own shop. So if you find a market and you can work for yourself, you can make it work.
Yeah,
so, definitely. People can, there's a way to get up there, but, 9 times out of 10 people don't, and they're kind of stuck where they're at. But
and why do you think, you said 9 times out of 10 people don't, why do you think that though?
Well, because they haven't, at the end of the day, if you have a plan, you got to work your plan. And then, if you know how to work it, you can be successful. But if you can't put that together and then you're stuck in that rut, if you want to work for somebody, then you're always going to be subject to whatever it is they give you. But if you go to work for yourself and you know how to work it, then you can make something out of yourself. That's true, yeah. Be self-sufficient. Yeah. She does make her money and she sends it back to the country. Big house back home.
You know about the curse.
Yeah, I call it. Big house back home. You know what I'm saying? And and cars back home and the whole nine, but she still stays here and she works.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's straight.
It goes with the little changes that you have to do on your in your day-to-day life to either make your life better or keep it stagnant. Yeah. So if you really want to make changes, then you will make little significant baby changes every single day to either make your business more profitable or just to make your life better as a person.
Yeah. I got you. CC Vibez.
This is Eric. I guess on the other front also, sometimes when you got people from other countries that come here, they kind of segregate themselves sometimes. They don't get themselves out there and get themselves acclimated to what's out here in America. So that kind of fear of not going out there and reaching out and getting themselves into the culture too kind of, stops their growth of really finding friendships and making themselves more acclimated and feeling comfortable around their surroundings,
But sometimes that's really difficult for people that do come from other countries Because there's a beautiful woman that lives across the street from me that is from El Salvador that is very into her community. And when she was living there, she was all about her community. And then she moved here and nobody's about the community.
Yeah.
Nobody comes outside and says hello. Nobody comes.
Hold on. I'm going to cut you off. Hold on, real quick, V. I got to take a quick break and we'll be right back, all right? I need some of your beats next, too. We're playing right now. We're listening to First Spawn beats. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Peace.
Fighting Radio Pablum in the No Guts Washington radio market. We're WEBR, Fairfax's cable access radio station.
Peace. This is djOHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax. That's WEBR Radio Fairfax and Fairfax, VA. I'm sitting here with the full house. We're talking about foreigners. That's what it's all about today, foreigners. But see, that's the thing is I'm not even foreign, man. People look at me and they're like, where are you from? And I say, I'm from here. I say I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And they're like, no, but where are you from for real? I mean, I know you probably lived in Bridgeport. Where are you from? I'm like, yo, I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so prejudiced and just look at me and say, where are you from? My nationality is I'm American. I'm American. If you want to know where my parents are from, they're from Afghanistan. But some people don't get it, man. And now we're here at a point where a lot of people are flooding the U.S. A lot of foreigners are coming in, looking for jobs. And there's plenty of jobs, man. There's plenty of jobs. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of the people that come to the States and can't speak the language or don't have, see, a lot of people have the wrong perception. They're like, you come to America and like you were saying, you can start your own business. But starting your own business is really hard, and a lot of people don't get it. There's a lot of legalities, man. A lot of people start their business and it falls apart because they don't understand. In other countries, you could just open up a shop. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go through this process of doing all this stuff to get legalized and get your LLC and get protected and all this kind of stuff. But they don't get that. They don't understand the laws over here. So there's a barrier. And then Eric was saying, a lot of people don't get out to find out these things. And you're right. You're right, because in a lot of other countries, it's not like that. And then you were saying something, Miss CC Vibez. You're saying that there's a woman here from El Salvador.
Mm-hmm. There's a woman that lives across the street from me that contributes to her community in El Salvador still. But in this community, she has a hard time because she does have an English barrier. But nobody communicates in the neighborhood whatsoever. There's no sharing. There's no community. And our biggest conversation is how can we bring the community back into our little neighborhood that we have? And it's being able to get out there.
Is this Fairfax County?
This is Loudoun County.
Okay.
And just having just in your neighborhood alone, your little block, your cul-de-sac that you have, if you just share with your neighbor, it brings that culture out, their culture out and your culture out, and then you're able to combine, and then you might be able to build and makes that woman stronger because she's alone in that house with her kids. She has nothing else but just herself and her family and no one. When she's coming from an area that's all about community and all about self-sufficientness, and now she has nothing, so she's hiding.
Hello, this is MzErika. How you doing?
What's good?
I'm here to tell you, if you want to start a community, you start it.
Yeah.
It starts with one helper.
Yeah.
You help her, the next one to help her, and then it all become together again.
And that's exactly what we started in the neighborhood, and we have a nice community going on right now.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the community definitely starts on your block.
Yes.
And no matter how diverse it is, because I think everybody, no matter what street you live on here in Northern Virginia, is more than one nationality on that street, but that's still your community because that's your neighbor. So it doesn't, I don't think it has to be an ethnic thing that links you to, together.
Mm-hmm.
Just, geographically it's where you stay at. If you live on my street, then, you my community. So we should.
All right, but let me ask everybody though, within your, I'm not going to say within your community, but within your neighborhood, how many of you really have that common unity within your neighbors? Doc, go ahead, better. And then Doc got something to say.
3
too.
out of 10 on my street.
3, that's what I'm saying.
But we solid though. We solid.
30%. Okay, but look,
we solid.
Of those three, right? What are the nationalities?
Be quite honest with you, about 9 out of 10 people on my street are black.
Okay, so you guys do have you guys have something in common. So it's not like you got some Asian people, you got some European people.
But we, it's a Pakistani elder that's on my street that, we build all the time. We do our neighborly thing with one another. It's a couple of Latinos on my street as well, but it's just majority black on my street. Yeah. But the Pakistani dude lives like 2 houses down from me. So, we always, build with each other. I watched his son graduate. I'm living in my neighborhood for the past 12 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched his kids graduate, whatever, him and his wives and the whole nine. Like, we all cool or whatever. But, the brothers that I'm speaking of, like, we kind of are around the same age group. So we have a common interest, just in every kind of thing. You know what I mean? So when we do cookouts.
And they're all American, right?
We do they was all born here. Yeah. Not Virginia, but they've all been born in America.
In America, yeah.
Right. So, when we do cookouts, it's like community cookouts. Either it's at my house or it's at their house, and vice versa. If I need a jump, they'll give me a jump, If I need some tools, whatever, or vice versa, we all look out for each other in that level, you know what I mean? Even if it comes down to bread, If I'm short on something and vice versa, we all look out for one another.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's a real community right there.
Hey, this is Eric. Yes, Eric. And I think it also takes some time to build that community. A lot of us, like me, I jumped from home to home a little bit, from apartment building to apartment, just trying to get myself settled in place. And I think if you just jump in year to year and 2-year leases here and there, it's real hard to invest yourself.
Real hard.
Into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, some of us that are still trying to find that house and that picket fence.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
I also think, if I may jump in here real quick, that there's a socioeconomic thing to it, to be honest with you. I mean, when I moved into Harlem, East Harlem, I wasn't Puerto Rican. The whole neighborhood was either Puerto Rican or black. And it took me maybe a week to be assimilated. I mean, part of that is probably, I'm gregarious, I'm an outgoing person. But I think that, that's just the type of community that was there. People saw that I was struggling just like them, and we bonded over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with that. In the human sort of mentality is, I'm at a certain point in my life, I'm affluent, or I have a nice little house. I don't need anything from my neighbors. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to appear into my bedroom or my living room and see, my fears and my, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a socioeconomic thing, like once you're not rich, you're not poor enough to hide anything. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like and to talk about the job thing, I help people with jobs for many years, helping them find jobs, ex-cons and people coming in from other countries. And honestly, if you want to make it, you can make it, whatever make it means. You can be successful, but if you don't have it in you, you should have stayed in your country. Okay, because there's sharks out here, and you're chasing the big dream, but you have to also realize that you may not hit it. You probably won't hit it. And whoever promised you a job over here, I'm just saying, like, who's promising you jobs? Like.
Kareem told me before the show, he was like, I'm cool with not selling anything. He said, I'm cool with not telling people what to do, call to action. But he was like, the cursing thing is the hardest thing for me.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Because I think we should be able to curse.
Yeah, I wish we could, man.
No, because I think that if you can curse correctly, you're just showing children how to add color to what you're saying. Yeah. And I don't know, man. I think we're lying to ourselves. Kids hear it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's better to hear it from us than to hear it on TV.
Exactly,
right?
From someone who's using it incorrectly.
Yeah, exactly, man. I feel you, man. Actually, today, this morning on NPR, man, I listen to NPR in the morning, man, just to try to get some news in. And they were talking about the new method of teaching kids or disciplining kids is letting them curse at you at home, though, not in public.
No,
not in public.
No,
I'm too old school for that.
No,
but it's
no
real.
Child
First
will be
Spartan,
cussing
can
you.
you address this issue?
No.
Hey, what do you think?
That will not happen.
He can tell you how it is at home, man. If
What do you
anyone
think?
knows me well, it's my seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like to curse at your dad sometimes when you're frustrated? Do you think that's a good method of discipline? But only at home, though. If you do it out in public, that's not right. But at home, you can say whatever you want.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh.
First spawn.
Look him in the eye when you say this, too.
Dead look. Dead straight look.
I mean, he's dropped the F-bombs before. We got hit by a car, so I was like, okay, this is acceptable. You know?
No, but I'm talking about, I'm not. See, that's
me.
Yeah, I'm saying at you. Like, if he's frustrated, you guys are arguing about something. And this guy, he wrote a book about it. I mean, it's something new. It's called, I forgot what it's called, man. It's parentology. It's a book about parentology. That's what it is. And he was like, I let my kids curse at me at home because it lets them get it out. And he said that as they grew up, they didn't feel like that urge to use curse words anymore because they knew like what it really was. And they saw the hurt that it gave him, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like they saw that it hurt him. Like, you're hurting your dad with these words. But he said, I wouldn't let it get to me. But then when they were old enough, I said, well, see, you're calling me these names. You know what that means? And when they figured it out, they stopped saying it. So it's like reverse psychology, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I do that because at my house, we don't really have anything taboo.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
you know
everything is honesty.
Yeah, we live by honesty. We live by this quote by Shakespeare. There's no richer legacy than honesty. My father was a compulsive liar, so I personally have a psychological problem where I don't like lies.
Yeah.
So they know that. I never lie to them. They know that.
Yeah, that's good.
And in turn, they don't lie to me.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know what I mean? You speak on the first one.
No, my thing is like, if you're true at home, you're true. You have to be true outside your home. So you can't be true at your home, and then like in the world you're just nothing. You have to be true outside and inside.
But they know to be respectful. You know.
Yeah.
They know that.
Always.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
All right, man. Calm down. No, joking. No.
That's what's up. I'm gonna take a quick break for PSAs, and we'll be right back. This is another First Spawn beat right here, or is this this is a VE beat? We're going out on a VE beat. We'll be right back. Peace.
We are WEBR, Fairfax County's public access and internet radio station.
Peace. This is djOHLOW. I know you're not passing a bag of weed around.
What is that?
No.
Oh,
That's Rosemary.
CC Vibez just brought a big bag of weed in here, man.
Rosemary.
I can't smell it though.
That Jamaican dirt. You know?
Jamaican dirt.
That's that down south right there, huh?
It's that good stuff. Good for your memory.
Yeah.
It'll help your memory.
Doc, you had something to say before the break, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. I knew you were going to give me my time. So today I really wanted to talk about this thing of living in a war zone. I'm not sure if it fits, and we might get to that. But as you're talking, it's really warming my heart because African Americans have been through that. Like, we have a whole history of, what is the word for it?
Exploitation?
Not everybody has not exploitation, but not having citizenship.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when did we get that?
Yeah.
We didn't get that until
recently.
1960.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. So, you know,
see, a lot of people don't know that.
Well, with my dad's family, they are actually settlers of Kansas. They came in the 1860 because Kansas was not a slave state. So they're in all the books. They probably should be in the museum. A lot of the pictures you see. First blacks in this county, this, that, and the other, they got to park all this. So, you know, one of the first things my dad told me, you know, he started working at 5. He was a shoe shine boy. And his uncle had a shoe shine shop. He cut Greek men's hair and shined shoes. So, and I'm not going to say I'm mixed, but I am in a sense because my mother's family, fair, some of them can pass, and they're very educated. But my dad's family's very low down to earth. So when I look at the two, you know, I was like, Dad, way back then, you had your own business. Like when you look at the history of African Americans, we had laundry, we had lotto. The numbers, that was our job right there. We had cleaning, house cleaning, we had lawn care, and this is an opinion, but we went through this whole thing with the 60s where we wanted to come up. We wanted to get educated. And so now, and I think there's a lot of bitterness over that when a lot of African Americans, they say, well, they come over here and they have all these advantages. I'll get to that. I don't agree with that because there is an element of trying and the histories are different. So we lost a lot. But we also had a history of very educated people. I mean, if you talk to I'll use my grandfather. He was very smart, straight A student. He was born in 1920, so he had a free ride to Howard. He was even a PhD in seminary school when he got older. He couldn't do it, so he cleaned toilets. So there was a lot of history of that.
Well, after his PhD?
When he was much older. But before coming out of high school, he couldn't go to Howard. Yeah. Not Harvard, but Howard. He couldn't go to Howard. He had to, be the toilet cleaner or whatever. So I guess what I'm trying to say is one thing I think other immigrants coming in could look to that history and just reflect on the ghettoization. That the system that's already kind of in place where you have to go through these certain things. Now, the other thing is I really don't believe it's an even playing field. I really don't believe, we keep saying and society wants to say, you can do it. You can do it if you want to try, but there is a network in place. Even you go to I worked in Lockheed, you go there, okay, try to get up. But there's going to be some golf course action. There's going to be certain things.
Golf course action.
Yeah, I don't want to plant seeds of hopelessness, but I think we have to look at the reality, and we have to look at the reality maybe of immigration. I mean, it was cool in the 80s and 90s when the money was flush. Bring all the people over. They can clean all the houses we want. There were no laws in place to give them a pension or Social Security. Everybody had money. Whenever we wanted to build bridges, streets, build towns, all kinds of immigrant labor. So it's not like I don't feel for the cause, but as I'm listening, I'm like, that's my grandmother's story. That's, you know what I mean? So I don't really know what the solution is, but I definitely think we have to go farther than if you want to make it, if you want to try, you have to do these certain things, put them in place. I mean, there's a lot of things that are in place for immigrants, you know.
What everyone is saying is actually right, because something that Betta and Kareem said too is that if you want to do it, basically you said if you're not a go-getter, you're not going to be a go-getter. Whether you're in Mexico or you're in Afghanistan or you're in America, if it's not in you, it's not in you. It's like, you know, a lot of people in my family, they would say, don't mess with that guy. Don't mess with your cousin over there because he's a weed head. And I'd be like, what's that have to do with it? Well, he's a weed head. He's not getting nothing done. And I'd always be like, it has nothing to do with the weed. He's just not going to get anything done. He's just a knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to get it done. And that's the same thing. If you're a go-getter, whether you're in America, in the UK, you're going to go out and get it.
Yeah.
And see, I mean, I'm split on it, man, because you're right. And it's easy for a man to say that. But I have to put myself in my mom's position in the 70s, coming here, knowing very little English. You know, they learned English in Afghanistan in school, but when you come to America, you can't speak to anybody in Farsi or in Pashto. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. You're forced to speak English. And so she learned English. She came here, she went to school, but it was still hard for her, man, because she wasn't accepted. We lived in come on, man, think about it, in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Afghan people in Bridgeport, Connecticut, people didn't know what Afghanistan was until the 90s, really. You know what I'm saying? Until Osama bin Laden came around. Nobody knew what Afghanistan was. So there's no way she was getting a good job. My grandfather, like I said, actually, when people ask me, they're like, yo, what did he do? I say, oh, yeah, you know, he worked at Yale. And this is true. He worked at Yale University. Oh, yeah, what did he teach? Was he a professor? Yeah, he showed you how to clean the toilets, like you said. He was a janitor, you know what I'm saying? He fixed the windows. He did stuff like that. But, you know, in Afghanistan, he had a really good job, and obviously he had to leave because of the war, you know. But it's like, come on, man, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't get it, because some of the stupidest people in America have really good jobs. And I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this in high school and college. Some of the stupidest people who had rich parents that were able to get them to good schools.
Yep.
And even in colleges, man, like they screwed around, they did mad drugs, they did everything, but then they were part of fraternities that got the tests, so they would cheat on tests and still get away with it. And this happened around me all the time. And you know, I'm not gonna front, man, like I knew all these dudes, but I never got into a fraternity because I was like, I'm not gonna pay you to be my boy. And you're not even I'm not even like you, so I don't even want to be around you. But I used to try to work off them, you know what I'm saying? So I got in with their little crews and I saw what they were doing. And they always got those free passes. But people like me, I don't want to say anyone else's name, but some of my friends, we didn't get those free passes, you know what I'm saying? Betta, go ahead.
It goes back to the support of their own community. You know what I mean? A lot of those knuckleheads, a lot of those jugheads, you know, they got over because they had people supporting them. You know what I'm saying? They knew that, it was the legacy, you know what I'm saying? The alumni, the whole nine, they get those passes. It's like we didn't really establish that for ourselves. It's always kind of been like a dog-eat-dog with like minorities, you know what I'm saying, in America. Whereas you had a whole nother society that supported their children growing up, regardless of how bad they were. They always had a pass, and they grew up knowing that. Yeah. And they still, you know what I mean, benefit off
and
the
it still happens today, man.
But when
I like to say,
go ahead.
Like I said one thing, excuse my voice, lost my voice, but
Cena was at a rock concert last night. He was screaming, man, David Bowie, David Bowie.
Right?
Let's dance.
But I'll say this because I've lived overseas, you know, and there's always this perception of when foreigners come to the States, you know, they have the breaks. I've heard it in my community where they're like, oh, they always get everything. Yeah. The one thing that I think the people need to realize is that I didn't learn this until I was lived overseas, that there's all types of people to make the world go around. True. There's bummy dudes in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though that goes against the stereotype, you know how hard it is for you to leave your community, to chase a dream. That means you're already forwardly moving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lack of fear. You know what I'm saying? There's the fear there, but it motivates you. Just like, yo, I ain't got nothing.
You gotta have no
safety
fear.
net.
Yeah, true,
you know,
exactly.
I have no safety net,
yeah.
so I gotta make it. And that's the problem. When I heard in my community, when I used to hear, it's like when I grew up in Hampton, in my projects or apartments, there's a big influx of Vietnamese people that came in. They popped up and had a good community, had stores. Before you knew it, 10 years down the line, there were stores. Everybody was doing well. Meanwhile, people like my neighbors and my family, they're sitting down like, when Vietnamese come in, they got liquor stores, this, that, and the other, and they want to bark about it. But I'm like, yo, they did it. They I don't care what they hustled and got it together.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You know the balls it took to come to a whole new country where they didn't speak the language.
Yeah.
They hustle. They brought their stuff.
You know
together.
what we do, man? I'm Vietnamese, by the way, yo. I'm Vietnamese Express. I'm Vietnamese.
Right.
You know what we do? We cut out a middleman. We went straight and we be the source. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
Like before we came over here, you know, like 30 years ago or so, you ain't got none of the like Vietnamese grocery store, you know, like where you can get like Asian vegetable. You know what I'm saying? Like Chinese broccoli and stuff like that. You don't have that. So what you do, you had to go to a Chinatown, like, you know what I'm saying, an hour away from where you at to get some, just to be, you know, as close as Vietnamese food, not even Vietnamese, you know what I'm saying, some Chinese stuff. But then you thinking, you know, I want to be this. I want to be this distributor, you know what I'm saying? I want to be right here that people don't have to be driving an hour away to get this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, as like a Vietnamese culturally food. So when they had that stay up mind, you know what I mean, they was like, all right, so this is what they need, but they got to drive an hour away. I'm going to bring that hour away store here. So I'm going to open my own store. You need it, right? I got you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to drive an hour away. And it is exactly what you're looking for. Vietnamese stuff, you know, Vietnamese culture, Vietnamamese food. Stuff like, you know what I'm saying, like rice, like all that kind of stuff, man. Like before, man, like the last 5-10 years, there's not a lot of Vietnamese food, like culturally food and vegetables and product stuff. You can't be getting that China.
Now there's a faux spot everywhere, man.
Exactly,
there's a faux spot in every corner.
Yes, sir.
Yummy.
Eric.
Yeah, I think a lot of foreign, you know, people that come up here and their first time down this way, they do have that sense of community and to try to, you know, help each other out. And like when they see that need in the community, they have leaders within that community. They have the money and they have the ability and the smarts to go out there and research it and know how to do it and take the chance on it. And you see a lot of community, like Centerville right now has a lot of Korean community over there, and they're really taking care of each other. And they got a lot of great shops and stuff.
You say
like that.
Korean, like I used to live in Annandale. Still talking about Fairfax County. I lived in Annandale. Annandale, I'd say about 75% of the stores in Annandale are Korean owned, right? And it's been like that for a while, but over the years they've been buying up like the whole block basically. So now from 495 up until Little River Turnpike, that whole thing, just about every single store is Korean owned. I mean, it's everything from the Jerry's subs to the car dealership to the food mart, whatever. It's all Korean owned. And, you know, a lot of people are like you were saying, Cena was saying, you know, oh, these people are coming over and taking over and stuff like that. But in a sense, they're smart. Yeah, man, but they're smart, though, man. Isn't that the American way? Isn't that the American dream? That's what I'm saying.
I want to just say one thing, like, as Dr. B.
Doctor.
And I know this is controversial, but I know what really killed African Americans was that welfare. Because when you had that migration coming up, first of all, in the migration movement to say Chicago, you had millions of people coming from one county. Okay? Imagine all the South Side is populated by Clarksville, Mississippi. So what happened in that movement, the people had only picked cotton. Now, granted, you had a lot of black wealth, like my mother's side and stuff like this. So what they did, who was it? One of Kennedy's, what is his name? The one that established the Peace Corps. He pushed through this welfare stuff. He was an in-law. What was the guy? Sure. Anyway, he pushed through this welfare stuff. Okay? So now me, like, I'm seeing this and I'm always Democratic. And then I go to teach welfare. Ladies on welfare, like maybe 10 years back, GED. They didn't know anything. They didn't know that to get to point A to B, it was going to take work. And I really started thinking to myself, you know, I tell people you cannot be mad because Africans come here. They understand capitalism. Now, we understood this maybe years ago when we had our own means of production. What we had coming out of the South was our labor. And we had some serious skills, you know, so when you put all those people, like, I look at it very differently. I'm like, shut this whole thing down because I look at the communities that come over and have to eat that beans and rice. You go to I know this is but I feel this, but you go to the grocery store now, me personally, I can't eat what I see them using on the cart. One day I went there, I saw this man all dressed in leather, diamonds. His wife dressed in furs. They pulled out a card, and we're all looking like, that's an EBT card. And he was like, well, the credit card don't work. I mean, why are you on this? And they got into, you know, a Mercedes. So for me, just to sum it up, This makes people lazy.
Yes.
The reason people are coming over here, you need to struggle. You need to build up. Now, I'll say that, but then I'll say another thing. In my neighborhood, Anacostia High School, they don't have any books. They don't have a library. So you have these real facts, but guess what? Walk to the library. You know what I mean? But I think African Americans right now, they are bitter, but they don't know, like the Jamaicans, they have savings organizations.
You know,
this is how they get it. So I think we just had that lazy mentality where we really are. And I told my women clients, I said, listen, I worked out a budget. I'm going to end with this. So they were talking about these shoes. My son didn't have them because he was at St. Albans and I had to pay something for it, you know. I said, but my lawyer, my divorce lawyer, like the kids there, they don't have this. And I'm like, look at you. Now you live on a budget. It's like, let's say it's $800. This is like $2,000. But this is fake money, right? Because you're not really paying for your housing. This is cash. This is food. And you're going to spend $150. What percentage of your budget is that versus a guy who makes all this money and he doesn't buy those things? So they had this thing of instant gratification. You know what I'm saying?
Status.
So yeah, so this welfare thing, I'll leave it with that. Like, we have to look to other groups to see how, they have to struggle. They have to work together. They're not just going to get a check. Like, that's crazy. It doesn't get us anywhere.
If I may say something, and I'm just speaking completely now off the top of the dome, inspired by what you said. Like I told you, I worked for many years in New York City with the worst of the worst criminals that came out of prison. I would help them find jobs. And one of my employers, and I had a joke about it, was an African guy. And he would always tell me, Kareem, do not send to me no more black American guy. The man is lazy, And it kind of got me to thinking. And then I started sort of like just peeping the dudes I work with. You know what I mean? And there's different types of people in every kind of society. But I think that just from the outside looking in, and I'm just totally, I think the black existence in this country has almost sort of like cursed on itself, you know what I mean? Because now it's like, well, we came from this, but you didn't, you know what I'm saying? So do you know what the struggle is? Because your parents forgot to tell you, or maybe their parents forgot to tell. So now all of a sudden it's been watered down. And now you have a lot of people that feel like stuff should be handed to them, you know what I mean? And have that sort of mentality where it's like, and it's twofold too. And there is a ceiling. There's definitely a ceiling to how far you can rise. This game that we're playing in right now, this capitalism, it's all a byproduct of colonialism, right? And it's going on in Africa, and Africa till now, I mean, especially is getting bastardized and crushed, and they're testing medical stuff out there, and they're doing all kinds. They're just hoeing out African people, burning down their libraries in Alexandria. Why are African people so? They've always been brilliant. You know what I mean? Like that's the cradle of civilization. No, I'm just saying it's like. People get surprised by when Africans come over here and do stuff. They've been doing stuff, dude. Right. Like they were doing stuff so hardcore that their library was burned down. They were afraid of all the stuff that was in there. So
that's
whatever.
true. That's real talk.
Did that to blacks in America too, because it was a shift that had taken place. And I build with my elders. I get two different responses, but it seems like black Americans were really on the rise in the '60s. Now, when you got to the late '60s and they implemented integration, something changed. Damn. You know what I mean? Because we were self-sufficient. We kept everything in-house. We had our own community. But then they started integrating the schools. So now we weren't teaching our children anymore. Our children being taught by people who weren't us. And I think that's when, the digression started taking place.
That's a light bulb.
I got to take a quick break. I'm going to come back. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about 40 acres and the mule. But no, I mean, it's not even funny, but it's real talk because it's everything you guys are talking about the citizenship in 1960. That's 100 years, right? I'm almost 100 years. So I'm going to come back, though. I got to take a quick break. This is a first spawn beat right here, right? I'm going to go out on the first spawn beat. We'll be right back on Beat with OHLOW. Peace.
Keeping the First Amendment alive. We are WEBR, Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
Peace. This is djOHLOW. It's another VE beat right here. I like this one, man. I didn't get to talk to you guys about beats, but we're going to talk about beats. But right now we're talking about foreigners in America. And we're talking about everybody in America, for real. I mean, we're talking about black people.
Talking about America.
Yeah, we're just talking about America in general, man. You know
Melting
what I'm saying?
pot.
Exactly. But on a lighter side, man, I want to talk about this fake bag of weed you got over here.
Fake bag of weed.
This K2.
No, this is rosemary. Rosemary. It grows very, very beautifully, and it helps.
I just pan-seared some lamb with that the other week.
Yeah. It's super good for your immune system. and it also helps your memory, and it can also help you sleep better. So if you take like a sprig of it, you take a stick of it basically and put it in your pillowcase, and you smell it when you sleep, it helps deflect bad dreams and helps your mind relax. It's awesome.
How does it deflect bad dreams?
Chemicals in it.
Oh yeah.
That's what it says in the paperwork.
Sorcery. That's what I'm saying.
But it has,
It's in the write-up. Google that.
Google it.
It's on Wikipedia.
So share some of your health tips, some of your successful for self health tips.
First thing you can do in the morning when you wake up is drink a cup of water.
I wanted to ask you about that. Why is that?
Because it helps get everything moving in your body. If you think about what your body's made up of, is made of fluid, and if you
70%
water. Yeah.
Water. If you want it to get it moving, then you need to get it moving with some fluid.
I heard you can get it moving with some mango.
Yeah, it's fibrous.
Yeah, right.
You can get some fiber in you.
But tell us again. Tell us like why about the water. Tell us why it's good to drink at least a cup of water in the morning. Besides just getting things moving, because that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying. That's kind of
because it lubricates your joints. It lubricates everything.
Here's something I read. Look, because actually, I'm glad that you brought that up because recently I read that when you lay down, your body, when you go to sleep, your body starts to release toxins.
Yes.
And this is a fact. And what happens is when you're laying down and you're flat, all the toxins start to build up in areas, right? And that's why you have, like you said, joint pain and things like that, because they build up in these areas, the fluids. And these toxins, when you wake up in the morning, they start to move around again. So when you have a glass of water, that when you, like you said, the water helps flush everything out. Yes. Everything that goes into, I'm not sure if it's your kidneys or whatever it is.
It filtrates to all your organs and your lymph system and everything. Like it's just really good to drink water as soon as you wake up in the morning. It's good to drink water all day long.
Because if you don't, you actually absorb the toxins again. I mean, some of it gets released, but a lot of it gets absorbed again and it gets mixed around in your bodies and just it's like an ongoing thing. And then so I wanted to ask you about something else. Now, when people drink water, is it okay to just drink any kind of water? Can I just go buy Aquafina or whatever? And I'm not advocating for Aquafina. I'm just asking, should I just go buy Aquafina, or is there another kind of water I can get which would be better for my body, for my joints?
Water is water to me.
Man, I might have to swing it this way. She just messed up the whole thing.
Honestly, if a lot of people have issues with all different types of water. There's so many different types of water out there that you can drink.
I have a question for you though. Does it make any difference whether the water's cold or warm when you drink it first thing in the morning?
Lukewarm water. I drink lukewarm water. You don't want it to be cold because with it being cold, your body has to temporize it. So putting it in your mouth makes it warm in order for it to go down, for it to filtrate through your body.
Using more energy.
Right. More energy. So, yes.
And it makes you want to pee real bad when you drink cold water in the morning.
And it can also hurt your stomach in the morning if you drink a really cold glass of water because it's your body is warm.
Kareem.
Question. Is it true that, and my dad is old school, he just says, don't drink water. When you're eating, you don't drink water. Yeah. And I'm like, why? Is it because you wash away the enzymes that have to eat the food?
It's true.
Is that true?
I don't think so. No. I have to disagree with that. And I'll tell you why. Because it's said that you should drink a glass of water before and after to help.
Not during, though.
Oh, no. During? I guess not during. Yeah, you're right. Because you're gonna wash it, it's gonna make it go down faster. It doesn't break down as fast. You're right. But before and after, yes. Because before you're opening up your stomach and you're allowing more food to get in there, which allows it to, I guess when it compresses again, it digests better. And then when you have water after, it flushes everything down. But yeah, I guess during, you're right, man. Yeah, our parents say some things that are true. You know, they like when we're kids, you're like, come on, Dad, what are you talking about? Get out of here, man. That's BS. But yeah, they're not telling. They're telling us the truth, man. But about the water, the reason I asked you about the water is because what's your opinion on alkaline water versus just any old regular water from the tap?
Tastes good.
Alkaline water?
I mean, water is water to me. I drink Nikan water, which is a mineral. It's got through sand and magnets and a bunch of different rocks that it filtrates through.
So it has minerals.
It has minerals and stuff
like that. Yeah.
All that filtrates through.
Natural minerals, yeah.
I rarely drink tap water. If I have to drink tap water, I will. I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, your body is going to have to go through the chemicals of that's in it, and the fluoride, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But at least you're getting water. The whole point is the water. I mean, you're gonna, regardless of what you drink, there's gonna be chemicals in it that your body's gonna have to process through.
Yeah.
So at least you're putting that water in your body, and your body's gonna be able to filtrate it out.
So you don't care to choose alkaline over regular water?
No.
All right.
But if I did have a choice though.
But you do have a choice.
Okay. If I do have a choice, yes, I would drink alkaline.
That's why you need alkaline, man. Alkaline stabilizes your body so that stuff doesn't happen right there. See, this is eLBetta's daughter, for those who don't know. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so tap water is a lot better because my sister, after she went to the doctor, they said she should drink tap water at least once a day because of all the chemicals and everything. And like, it's more pure than like water, how it's more pure. Doesn't have minerals and all that stuff. So tap water is a lot better to drink than regular bottled water.
There you go. How old are you?
11.
11 years old, see? And that's what I'm saying, man. There's so many different theories, man. Everyone's teaching different things. I want to find out myself, because what I learned is actually the opposite. I learned not to drink tap water because it has all the chemicals, and you actually want the natural minerals. At my crib, I got a well system. I don't have county water, so my water is pumped through the ground, and so sometimes I get big nugs in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to take them out. It clogs up our pipes. But there's natural minerals, and the water actually tastes different. Like, if I get a bottle of water, Poland Springs or whatever, it doesn't taste as good as the water that's coming out of my well. And it's because it's being pumped, like you said, it goes through the rocks, goes through the sand, and it has a natural process of breaking down from the ground. And in Virginia, under most of Northern Virginia, there's big pockets of water in these caverns. And it's underground caverns, like underground rivers of water. And these deposits are really rich in minerals. And I thought that minerals were actually good for us, because original man would just drink water from the stream, right? He would find a fresh source and just drink from a fresh source, and that's full of minerals, and it's probably full of like pee from the cow down the stream too. But that's good for you though, right?
It's all from the earth though.
Organic.
Exactly. It's organic, because if you're getting all this bottled water, like, it's sitting in that plastic. That plastic ain't good for you. And you got all these different manufacturers, all these different companies that are selling you bottled water.
And it's all tap water anyway.
That's what these are the same people that make the sodas.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like,
all you really
you're still buying into it.
You're just paying for the packaging.
Yeah, you're just paying for the label.
Bottle, yeah.
I drink a lot of tap water, but it's through the purifier thing, the Brita thing.
That's another scam.
Yeah, it's probably a whole other scam. But
in my opinion,
as long as I get that water in me, like Cece was saying, as long as I get the water in me, you know what I'm saying? Because my grandfather always said, too much of anything can kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Too much of anything can kill you. Too much of anything will kill you.
I have to disagree.
Sex can kill you, dog.
Because right now I'm not getting any.
Hey, we got kids here, man. We got kids here. That's worse than a curse.
I know. Sorry, guys. I forgot you guys were here.
Hold on. Why do we have to pay for it?
Say again?
I was just asking my girl back
Sorry,
there.
CEO. I forgot. I completely forgot you were here, man. That's so my bad, Betta.
Why do we have to pay for it? I mean, we were driving into the hood and everything, and I see DC Water Company, and I'm like, really? Like, one of the main thing that we could need to survive. It's like,
has anybody seen the movie The Lorax?
Yeah.
You seen it?
Yeah.
What did they charge for? Do you remember what they charged for? Air. They were charging for air.
Same thing as Spaceballs. Remember Spaceballs?
Spaceballs, exactly. Yeah.
Charging for air.
Right?
Yeah.
Charging for air. Yeah. I mean, no, that's exactly what it is. Because you're right. Because why are we being charged? Because I don't get charged for water. I get charged for electricity because I have an electric pump to get that water up out of the ground, right? But but what I'm saying though, but everybody should. I mean, in my opinion, everyone. And like I said, Virginia has some of the best well water, tap water. Not tap water, but when you tap into the ground, the best well water. And so, if all these people living here, if they have the opportunity to just tap into it, why aren't they doing it? Fear is part of it. Because a lot of people are like, oh, that water is dirty, it's no good. Why would I get that dirty, muddy water? Because it's true. Sometimes that water comes up a little muddy, but we have a filtration system that it goes through. MzErika.
I did a little work up at the...
Can you speak up a little bit? We can't even hear you.
At the Potomac filtration plant.
Yeah.
I redid a part of that, and I also redid where you get your water at in D.C. that's close to Virginia and Maryland. No, that's where your poop go. No, I did work there too, but not this time. They you worried about stuff in your water. Don't you remember when they had the big write-up about all the pills that was done?
Oh yeah, the pills. Yeah, exactly.
They didn't go in there and pull them out.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to. And then see what they did is they went, and when I say they, I'm talking about, the GOV. They went and did. They got their scientists to do studies and say, well, you know what? It's a little bit. It's just a trace of the chemical, so it's not that bad for you. If you drank a lot of water, if your kids drank a lot of water for years and years and years, yeah, there might be something. But as long as you're drinking a little bit of water, it's not that bad for you. And that's how they get away with these things. But they never said, you know what? You're right. Let's just go back to to well water. I keep saying tap. Because, like when you're supposed to tap, that's what a well is. You tap into the earth, man, and you have natural source. But the reason is because, again, they can't make money off it. There would be no Fairfax Water Company if everybody had a well system.
What if you collected your own water at your home?
It's illegal.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Illegal. How's it illegal?
It's illegal for you to have a big drum, a big blue drum
of rainwater.
Rainwater, and collect it for yourself.
There's
for
a
your
lot of
plants
things that are
and for
illegal.
yourself.
Illegal to have.
That's just Virginia.
No, I was going to say, it's funny that we're having this conversation because this kind of goes back to my sort of conspiracy theory mind, and I can just hear my brother like pumping, and it's everything he said since the last 25 years it's been happening. You know what I mean? So, and he's not one of these guys that just says stuff. He really reads and tries to get multiple resources and stuff like that. And
real quick, I just want to give Renee a shout out because he's going to be watching this, man.
Oh, and my boy Renee. Yeah,
if
Renee,
it wasn't for Renee, I wouldn't even know you. We wouldn't know each other. Yeah,
no
so
doubt.
shouts out to Renee down in Chile.
Good guy.
Yeah.
But what my brother was talking about, and it's not really a secret, is that water, and Mos Def even had a song about it, New World Water.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, if you think about it, really, water is a resource that has been and it's the number one way to get all these chemicals in you. You know what I mean? Like pharmaceuticals now are out there to take place of stuff that marijuana could actually, take place of. And there's nothing on this earth. My dad, to quote my dad again, he says, "There's nothing on this earth that there's not an opposite of." You know, even if you man-made it, there's something natural to go against that. And so when you think about water and the type of food, Monsanto, I can't believe that the
Don't
stuff
get me
that
started on that.
I mean,
man.
it's just like, and water is just I don't know, man.
Real quick, like you said, Monsanto, they have a commercial right now in India of this rain god because, they can manipulate rain now, and they have this rain god that says, we'll give you water, we'll give you rain, and then he throws down seeds with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know about the seeds, Monsanto seeds, yeah. So and there's this big commercial, and obviously this goes back to, again, Indian people don't know how it is in America, right? They're in India, you know what I'm saying? And Monsanto's in there, and they're banking. They're not only banking off people, but when they sign that contract, they're kind of like giving away their property. Because when you sign a contract with Monsanto, you're basically saying that you can't use another seed. As long as you have a Monsanto seed, you can't use another seed. And you can only use their seed. And they actually have... Basically, they have rights to your land.
Oh, that's here too.
I know. No, it started here.
That's why we have gout. We have diseases that weren't even around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Gout and allergic to this and that. And I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Irritable bowel syndrome. That just means that the stomach lining is getting broken down by these genetically modified corn that you're not supposed to be eating.
Yes.
Well, 20 years ago they said it should be fine for you. It's in small trace amounts.
Exactly. Yeah.
So 20 years from now we'll be talking about this water when dudes have like 6 eyeballs.
And now you're genetically modifying the bees that transfer all of this, all our pollen and everything to make our plants grow. So
everything
is all
GMO.
Yeah, this is Eric. On the points of the bees, that's one thing that's crazy. They were doing, I don't remember exactly the research paper, but they captured small sections of farmland around the world, and that's one thing they found in America as opposed to many other farmlands was the dramatic reduction of bees in the area. And that's scary if you know anything about pollination and the way that the world works. Bees is no bees, no us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very true.
Nothing.
Bees and ladybugs, man. People don't realize we need those
bees.
too.
Those zombie bees. Y'all heard about the zombie bees?
Zombie bees?
How there's these little flies.
Zombies.
Yeah, zombies. There you go.
Oh, that's what they're called.
They laid larvae in the back of the neck of the bee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Then they eventually, apparently, they go out at night and they just lose the rhythm and they leave the hive and they don't come back and they
I thought those were hornets. Yeah, I thought they were hornets.
They're like little mites that get onto the bees, and you can put like a eucalyptus menthy thing on top of the hive.
Oh, so it's a mite that gets onto it.
It's like
yeah.
a mite.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
read
like-
about the hornets, about the zombie hornets or whatever, about those things getting on them. I didn't hear about the bees. Yeah.
Well, the pesticides that they put on these plants can make your bees not know where their hive is.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Can make them go astray or take over another hive for no reason.
There was actually a thing where they were talking about the fish. The fishermen were talking in like Scotland or something about how the fish were acting differently. Like they were like taking more risks, you know. And I think it's a joke, but I mean, but literally they were biting on hooks without bait. They were just acting different, and a lot of people were noticing that they tasted different. And a lot of that has to do with what they think was the chemicals that are in there, the antidepressants and all these kind of sort of like, you know, chemicals that we're just putting on. We're not just affecting ourselves. We're affecting
Would that explain
everybody.
the fish that they found that looked like a pig in the face?
I don't know about that. I didn't hear about pigfish face.
Pigfish face.
Or those mutated fish in the Chesapeake.
Yeah,
they started developing, like mutating. So like these male
snakehead fish, right? That what you talking about?
I don't know what particular fish, but these fish started to develop female organs.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
And vice versa. Yeah, in the Chesapeake.
I believe that. The Chesapeake is dirty, man.
Have you heard about that?
But hold on, I gotta take a quick break.
Catfish that talk. You listen to the catfish that they get out the Potomac. They talk to you.
Yeah, right.
Literally talk.
Now they got the radioactive fish
But it's
in the
still
Pacific.
good fish to eat. I know it's a scavenger and all that. I'm sorry, but
I gotta take a quick break, man.
Catfish alone.
This is On Beat with OHLOW. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. This is On Beat. Peace.
We are WEBR, Fairfax County's cable access and internet radio station.
Peace. This is djOHLOW coming to you live from Radio Fairfax here in Fairfax, VA. That's another First Spawn beat right there. First Spawn, I didn't get a chance to even talk to you, man. Just real quick, if people wanted to find you online, and if they wanted to find some of this music, some of these beats, how can they find you online?
Oh, I finally made a SoundCloud. So you check me out on soundcloud.com. First Spawn. So it's 1 STSPAWNED.
All right, cool. And when you're looking at me like, it's almost like he's asking me, right? I don't know, man. You got to tell me, man.
Is that right?
All right, cool. First Spawn and SoundCloud. Yeah, that's what's up. And VE, if people wanted to find you online, man.
Just look at, just go to Beat Conductor, man. You see VE up there. You know
on beatconductors.com.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you can find First Spawn on beatconductors.com too.
Yes, sir.
But if somebody wanted to find you specifically,
you can hit me up on
some of your beats.
Vietnamese Express on Reverse Nation. You know what I mean? I'm loyalty with Reverse. You know what I mean? Everybody got different, SoundCloud, this and different stuff.
You love Reverb Nation. Man.
I mean, when you're good at something, you know what I'm saying, it's useful to you, and you know what I'm saying, you could utilize it good. I keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Not what you use, but how you use it.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, it's Reverb Nation is awesome, man.
Yeah, it has everything. It's the whole
my
package.
hub. It's my hub. When I post there, actually just spreads out to all my other websites.
Yeah, exactly. And they have everything.
It's synced with everything, man.
It's the whole EPK.
It's synced with everything, and they even tell you when you post your song how many people check it out for a day and where you at local ranking.
It's got nice logistical information.
Every day how you go up and down with your ranking.
Would you be surprised if I told you that the person who invented Reverb Nation is not even American? He's a foreigner.
No way.
No.
You mean he wasn't a Native American?
Surprise me, man.
He wasn't indigenous to America?
I'm just saying, man.
Indigenous American.
Earlier, everybody was saying how, you got to do this and do that. You got to come to America. But come on, man. There's so much going on outside of this country, man. You know what I mean? There's more money being made outside of the country than there is inside of this country.
Oh,
for
yes.
real,
That's
man.
technology right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Americans are giving it to everybody else too.
Yeah,
So.
true.
You can sit in your own community, in your own little country, and not worry about coming out here because you got, Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to go back. I'm saying you're doing. All right, forget it.
That's what's up, man. I want to check in with Scene over here, man. He's come a long way, man. You've progressed since the beginning of the show. I mean, it's almost done now. I need to get a good shot of that before we get out of here. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like Jay Electronica is here with us.
Yeah,
Live
for real,
art.
man. That's what's up. Hey, Scene, if people wanted to find you online, man, because I know you have a lot to offer, man. If people wanted to find you online, how can they find you?
SceneArtStudios.com.
That's what's up, man.
Scene Art Studios, SCENE Studios.
You got all the artwork up there.
Everything is up there. Just just get in contact with him if you need anything.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, good stuff, man. I appreciate you coming out and doing this for us today, man. One more time, man. Tell us why. I mean, besides the fact that he just dropped, why did you choose Jay Electronica?
I mean, he's one of my favorite, like, new MCs.
Yeah.
That, you know.
In the younger generation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He dropped out. You know, I was waiting for him to come out a long time ago.
He never dropped.
Ever since he signed with Jay-Z, you ain't hear from him no more.
Else, but then recently just popped back up. So he's a powerful dude. That's all.
Yeah, he's definitely powerful. He married the Rothschild daughter.
Exactly.
Did they get married? They didn't get married, did they?
They're not married
Or
yet.
they're engaged.
He's in line.
He's trying.
Same thing, man. He's hitting it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that
He's
really
in there.
matters, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He got that blue blood
He's already
on.
in, yeah, man.
He's
You know what I'm
darkening
saying?
up the bloodline as we speak.
Yeah, exactly, man. She's probably pregnant right now.
Or they're
anyway,
watering
man.
it down. You know what I mean? Like, actually, that kind of turns me off that he's marrying the Rothschild. I shouldn't care, but like, because of what he says and how I've been listening to him and been like, wow, this guy's really saying stuff, and then all of a sudden you marry. I mean, come on, what?
Yeah, yeah. And I feel
At least address it.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because we're listening. You know, whatever. I mean,
And
you can
Kareem,
marry what you want.
People wanted to find you online. You know what? If people wanted to find your the documentary that you're in, we didn't even get to talk about it too much, man. The Muslims
man.
are coming.
Yeah, the Muslims are coming, man. It's on iTunes. It's actually like number 4 or 5 for a while. I don't even
So
know what that
funny.
means, but they told me to say. You saw it?
Yes, we saw it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So,
Even before he said, I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, but
great.
It was awesome.
oh, that's cool. It's really cool. I mean, I obviously I didn't put it together or anything like that. I was just one of the comics.
Yeah.
But I was proud to be part of that. You know, I think there was a lot of dialogue created from that. It's also on a lot of cable providers. I think Comcast, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's on Netflix.
It's definitely on Netflix
Yeah.
and whatever. It's on some other things.
It's up there. And
Yeah.
if people wanted to find it, they can find it.
Yeah, you can find it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And do you you said you don't have any more of the YouTube videos that you used
Well,
to have
I
up,
had
right?
my own website out, but the thing about comedy is, and I don't know if it's like this with every other art form, but for me personally, it was always hard to come out with the same stuff. You know, and I think that a lot of artists would tell you you're supposed to do that. You know, when you go see a band, you want to hear the classics. You know,
Yeah.
you don't mind hearing some new things, but you want to hear the classics. People don't realize how long it takes to craft a set. You know,
Yeah,
so a
yeah.
5, 7, 10 minute set. And honestly, to be honest with you, I'm not really grinding on it like I should. You know, I think I've just kind of gotten by with some connections and just, you know, some good fortune, and you know, maybe some people think I was funny and so they gave me breaks, but
In my opinion, man, you got to stick with it, man. Because like I said, when I was watching that comedy, besides the fact that I know you through Renee and everything, you know what I'm saying? When it got to your part, that's when I was like really cracking up, man.
I appreciate
because
that, man.
because what you say, because I know it's true too. That's the whole thing, because you speak the truth, and that's why it's so funny. You know
well,
what I'm
I
saying?
never really felt myself as a comedian, you know, because
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't figured out my medium yet. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but I really want to be a storyteller. I don't want to just make people laugh. I want to make people cry. I want to do like a whole show where I can take you through a voyage of feelings.
You know,
and
that's what
emotions.
she does, right?
Well, then
Doctor.
we gotta talk, because comedy to me is only, I feel like if I'm in a bad or in a sad mood, it's hard for me to do comedy because I'm bitter and I'm pissed
Yeah.
off, and so my set comes off different. You know what I mean? And so I haven't really committed. People tell me they haven't noticed. Oh, I didn't notice that. It looked fine to me, but I noticed it. And
You
I
don't do
feel-
any dark comedy? I know, because I know you're
I
talking
write
about.
a lot of dark comedy, but I never really talk about it as much.
What
as
about
I'd like to.
conspiracy theories? Like,
I mean, I mean, you know, I think that, you know, the comedy's weird because you get judged every 5-6 seconds.
Yeah.
So people will look at his art, but they're not going to tell him 6 seconds from now, oh, it sucks or oh, it's great. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? No offense to you, it's nothing. I'm just
Yeah,
using that
yeah,
as an example.
yeah.
People listen to your music, they're going to bob their head, but you know, it's not like every 6 seconds they're like, this sucks. And you know that by clapping or booing or not enjoying
Yeah.
themselves. So it's anxious. It's a whole anxious experience, man. And I've got anxiety to begin with. So
Yeah.
but if you
I
wanted
feel
to
you,
check my
man.
stuff out, you can check out YouTube. I took my site down because I'm still trying to, you know, sort of reinvent myself and come out with a whole different slew of stuff because, you know, the whole Arab American thing. Although I want to go on and speak about it, I think I'm bigger than that. And I don't mean bigger than being an Arab. I mean, I'm part of a globe.
Yeah.
I'm not just an Arab American. That's part of my experience. And it's part of the way I see the world. But we all have other stories to tell. Stories of love and stories of happiness and depression and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That we can share beyond just my little
He was
community.
about to curse again right there.
No,
man.
but do you feel me? Like I like doing these shows, and I like when people come out to the community and talk to me. But I feel like we need to get away from this little building small little communities and talk on a global scale.
Yeah, I
Because when
feel
the
you,
aliens come, it's going to be real.
Yeah.
And they're out there. Believe me. If you work for NASA, you know they're out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to pronounce.
They're already here, actually.
Yeah.
They are.
Eric's like,
Seen MIB.
Eric's ripping his face off.
Right?
They've always been here.
Eric, this is your first time, man. How's your experience? First time here on Beat with us.
This is an absolutely amazing crew. I'm looking forward to coming back.
I appreciate you coming out today, man. And your brother over here, Natural E, didn't say a word over here. He didn't say anything, man. I know you said you had a lot to say today too. E, you wanted to talk about a lot of things today, man. With your curly hair, yo. What's up with your hair? What's going on, E?
Jesus.
Going
Coming
back.
back.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
I was just
What you
swimming
think
at
Jesus
the
looks like?
pool, and I haven't had a chance to dechlorinate it.
That's what's up, man.
It's
Speaking
fasting
about
right now.
more water with chemicals in it.
Yeah.
I work
ready
at
for
a chemical
Passover.
bathhouse as a lifeguard. Also,
Yeah, that's what's up. Is that why your eyes are red?
the water.
The chemical bathhouse?
Part of the reason.
That's what's up, man.
Thank you so much for having us on this show.
Thanks
by
for
the
coming
way.
out, man.
This has been an amazing show.
Real quick, you guys have a performance coming up. And if people wanted to check, it's going to be right here in Fairfax, actually. You want to let
That's
people know
true.
about that?
Beatconductors.com. We've got a show, TRN, Top Ramen Noodles. Matter of fact, and the Sunshine Band's going to be there. We'll be at Red Zone Grill in Fairfax if you want to come check us out.
April the 5th.
Yeah, let them know.
April 5th, Red Zone Fairfax, you know what I'm saying? Prime time 11 to 12, right?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
That's what's up,
Yes,
man.
sir. The
Right
whole-
here in Fairfax.
The whole BK crew gonna be out there, right? I know
I
y'all
hope.
gonna be out there.
Yeah, that's what's up. Doc, if people wanted to find you online.
We gonna see BK family faces out there.
Yeah, definitely. If people wanted to find you online,
If you want to find me online, you can Twitter me at girl GURRL Keoni KEONI, or you should, or you can Google www.weirdoplaycom.
WeirdoPlay.com. That's what's up.
Yes.
And Mr. Forge, if people wanted to find you and some of the music you have with your son, First Spawn, how can they find you online?
You could find me on Bandcamp. I got all my albums there. You could download Audio Mac, all free music. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on iTunes as well. I got like 10 singles on iTunes.
You have a joint. I think it's the Highlander, right? That was produced by First Spawn.
Highlander's a mixture of producers. That's free. You can download that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right now we're working on a project.
Oh, okay.
But he's done production for me before.
Yeah, right. And it's you got a track on iTunes with your son.
Several.
Oh, okay.
Several. Yeah. Stuff off the new album as well. Diabolical Angel. It's dark.
Master of music.
Yeah, it's a little different. But Highlander, I'm to feed the people.
Yeah.
Diabolical is more like an audio diary.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Mr. Forge, Guerrilla Republic, guerrillarepublic.org. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my G-Rep brothers and sisters.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, much love.
Thanks for the medallion, man.
Yo, shout out to 516 Medallions. My brother in North Carolina, man, he did these leather, wooden beads medallions for us.
Real dope.
You know what I'm saying? Beat Conductors, Guerrilla Republic, DC.
Did them by hand.
Yeah, by hand. Yeah.
Real nice, man.
All different, you know what I'm saying? I got some in the works for TRN. I took E's logos, so those will be underway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what's up. Malcolm X had to go with my jump.
Yeah.
Take it back for real.
Yeah. Oh, yo, you got to check them out, man. 516 Medallions. They got all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's what's
Yo,
up.
thanks for having us, Olo.
Thank you for coming out. Miss CC Vibes, man. I got to end it on you. We have a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
Okay.
People wanted to find you online. How can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Christine Tebazile. It's Tebazile. You can hit me up. I have a bunch of homeopathic tips and optimistic lifestyle things that you can do to make your life happier and healthier. Just breathe and be at peace that day.
We only got one health tip from you. It was
I know.
about water today.
I know.
And the
Only one health
rosemary. That's cool.
Well, rosemary and then.
Son, that's all you need. Water and rosemary.
Oh
son.
no! One more thing. Shut your phone off at night when you go to sleep. If you can shut your phone off, completely cut it off. Put it down or put it away from you. Don't have it on because you're more. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you're more to open it up and look at it. And then it wakes your mind up. And then you can't get back to sleep like you need to. You need at least 30 more minutes of sleep each day in order for your body to feel better. So rest your mind when it needs that rest.
That's what's up, man. On that
Sorry,
note,
I can't do that. I can't get my snow day.
hey, our time is up, man. This is OHLOW. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And, you know, I know you got to turn your cell phone off, but Thursday nights at 9 p.m., don't worry. Just leave it on for a little while, all right? So you can tune into this show. This is On Beat. I want to thank everybody again. Peace. We're out.